All right, good evening. Today is July 8th, 2019. Welcome to the Sweet Talk. My name is Kim Atina. I am a Google certified trainer and a gold product expert and a technology teacher. And today I have on my show Mr. Jay Strumwasser. He is a returning guest. I'm so glad to have him on. Today, Jay's going to go over how to hack your Google site. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Jay, and we'll get the party started.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Jay Strumwasser. I'm a director of technology in New York City. I've been involved in education technology for a long time, in and out of the classroom as a teacher, consultant, and administrator. And I am a Google certified trainer as well, level 1, level 2 teacher, and Go Guardian classroom admin as well. And as well, Microsoft Innovative Expert.
All right, cool. So I know that's why I like to let you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more because that's a lot of credentials there, and I
Yes.
don't want to shortchange anybody. So I know it's hard to maintain them and acquire them. So today you're going to talk about Google Sites, and in Google Sites you're going to show us a couple cool tricks that you can share because we always want to try to make our website appealing and welcoming, but you want to make it where people want to stay and read your information. So I'm really curious to see how what you recommend in doing this and how you can lay out your website because like I took my school website and I converted it over into Google Sites. So any little tip or trick that can help me can help other people as well. So I'm really looking forward to learning from you.
Glad to help.
So
All
take
right.
it away, Mr. J.
All right. So I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to take you back to 2009 when I started using Google Classroom. Google Sites as essentially a lesson planning tool. I was very basic using it, adding links, adding text into here. There's also probably some videos in here, as well as my screencasts. I started flipping the classroom before flipping was even a thing back in 2009, had a double space of paper, and I realized that changed the way that people were viewing my website. So fast forward to 2019. There's a couple of things that Google has done a little bit differently about how to actually create a website. So I'm going to go over that really quickly. There's only 4 different ways to create a Google website. I know, 4. The one way that I think is the easiest is going through Drive, going to More, and then going to Google Sites right over here. There's another way. If you do sites.google.com, you actually have to click on this little button that says New Google Sites. So it's not as easy to create the Google site this way. Or if you click on Create, you have the option to create Classic or New. And for my suggestion, don't create a Classic site because you're just going to have to convert it later on. And another way to do it is sites.google.com/new. And that is another way. So just to show you that there's plenty of different ways to create a Google site, but it all leads us to our blank website. So what I like about Google Sites is it's a WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. So if you click to edit this title, you can simply add a title. If you click that title, you only have a few options. You have the ability to make it a heading, a subheading, or small. And this kind of what made me really think about how do I make this a little bit better? How can I bring in better graphics, better fonts, better colors to what this is? So what I always tell people is get rid of the pre-made stuff because we're going to create some new things. And we talked about this on our Wakelet experience a couple of weeks ago, but I use cool text. And again, cool text is something that I learned back in my MySpace days when I was trying to make my profile look better using HTML code. And so I'm going to just show an example of using one. Just going to pull one up. We'll go with Quicksilver right over here. So what's nice is you can add anything you want. So let's call this Ed Check J. The font I can change because maybe I don't like it. It's a little bit hard to read. And I only have, if it lets me choose it, 1,958 fonts. That's all. Whereas Google has 4, and I'll show you what those might be. So let's say I want to use this, a little bit gaming looking, and wait a little bit time, and it should become that logo. Now, what's nice is I could change the font size here, but I can always do that back in my Google site. I could change the text overlay gradient, and again, I have plenty of options. Google only has like 5. So let's say I pick this one. Now give it a couple of seconds, and now there's my graphic that I want to bring over. Now you don't even have to download it. You don't even have to do anything other than click and drag and get to the right web page, which is this one, and literally choose anywhere you want to put it. If you could see, the lines that came up there are actually helping me to figure out where I want to actually place this. So if you see, I can actually make it on the left, on the right. I can resize this. Again, these are things you can't do. And if you did want to have it transparent, you could do that through that tool as well. There should be an option in background color, and you could just make this transparent, I believe. You go to all zeros. If you download the logo, I do know that it actually will become a PNG. So let me just create that.
Yeah, I always download it, Jay. I didn't know that you can drag it over.
Yeah, I mean, essentially you could drag over any of the options, but when you download it, that's when you could actually have the GIF or the PNG file, however you want it to be. But what I like about it is it's just quick and easy way to grab any text you want and spice up your website in some way. So same thing, just to show you some images. For example, let's say I'm looking up, they say never do this in front of students, taking, a logo. But let's say I'm looking up a basketball logo, and I just want an image, and I am going to make sure that I'm picking the right kind of image. So I'm going to go to my settings. I'm going to go to my advanced search and make sure that everything I'm doing is allowed to do free to use, share, modify commercially. And now I have my options. So let's say I want to grab this artwork. I can literally click and drag, again, WYSIWYG, and I can pull it right behind my image. I can change the size, I can move it however I'd like it to be, and I can have that on each side of it, whatever it might be. So again, all you have to do is just click and drag, and it makes it much, much, much easier to spice up your website. You could also, again, if you wanted to go through the Google way, change image here. What I like is using select image because it brings up its own options. There's a gallery that's provided by Google, which are great. You can always choose the URL, but I find that even if you get the URL exactly of this image, which I'll show you, it's not going to come out the exact same way. For some reason, it doesn't always work. See?
Yeah.
So even though I'm taking the exact image URL, it's not the exact image URL. I could also search here, and if you notice, Google has also made sure that all the options are reuse for modification. So if I look up basketball, and I could choose that same image. What I also like to point out when I'm in this area is that I could choose by color. So let's say I'm looking for a green basketball, or I'm purple basketball, or something that has, obviously it's not going to be a purple basketball, but things that match my website. So let's say I want yellow, and I click yeah, select. Before I do that, I just want to show you that there's actually metadata that's built into the code of the image. So that is not going to get you in trouble in any way. But if you notice, that's now my background, and I can delete this by just clicking the delete button. So I just changed up my website just a little bit by dragging in different items, dragging in different pictures, changing the different options. Now, what I was saying before is Google does have the ability to do a lot of this, but here are the themes that they give you. Simple, Aristotle, Diplomat, Vision, Level, and Impression. And what I don't like is the fact that once you click on one, it impacts all of your pages. So you can't make each page individual in any way. And again, choosing colors keeps the color the same no matter what page you're on. And I'll show you an example website in a second. So here's my template website. It's got a couple more things that I've done in here to just show you. So if I keep that same theme and I change it to Diplomat, everything changes from page 1 to even page 1 part A. So again, all you have to do is go through and actually change that image on a different image, a different page, and now all of a sudden it's a different kind of a theme, kind of a look. By doing that, I should have a different page from part 1 and from home. So that is one way where you could differentiate a little bit.
And oh, am I muted? No. Yeah, I think that is it's a nice way of showing it, the differences and the options of using the header image as a background, using what's built in versus finding a customized image somewhere on the website. But you know what, Jay, I find that it's like a pain in the neck to actually go to each page and update your header.
Mm-hmm.
Like for my Sweet Talk, I changed the header, and I changed the way the header looked, and I had to go to each individual page and upload the header file to each page on the website.
That's true.
So for me, like if I'm taking a theme that's built in and I don't care about the the differentiation. For me, if I picked a theme, it carries through the whole entire site. It's more of a time saver at that point for me. Anyway, I mean,
no, it's definitely something to think about.
It's a preference, but I like that, you pointed out changing the header so that it can differentiate maybe a subject area or, a grade level or maybe importance or something along those lines, maybe for parent communication, something that just makes it stand out. So, and I like the cool text, how you got me onto the cool text website, but I like how you're able to just drag over the image onto the site header from cooltext.com into your own website. I was always downloading everything and saving it into my drive. So if you're going to reuse it, download it. But if you're not going to reuse it, then you can just drag it over onto your site. Those are really good tips there. I learned a few things there.
Great. I'm glad to show you those. Just another couple of things that actually I learned from ISTE, and I have to do a shout out to Joe Marquez, the EdTech MacGyver. He's at Joe Marquez 70. I'm just going to share my screen and show you what I learned from ISTE. Hold on one second. So he has a podcast called Sons of Technology, and it is the actual Sons of Technology logo. I'm going to make this a little larger.
That is so cool. I have to give him a shout out on Twitter.
Yeah, it's really cool. Hold on one second. One of these is going off. Oh. I'm going to mute the site. Give me 1 second. Okay. So he actually created this whole website, including this kind of a logo, through his hack, which is the Google Sites font hack. So I'm actually going to pull up this quick little video and show you. Not sure if you're going to hear it because we muted. Hold on 1 second. So I'm going to leave that link in there. Just going to skip through because we are getting background noise from the other link that's on there, but I'm going to quickly show you where he gets all this information from. So bit.ly/G_S_ITE fonts, and he gives you a copy of this document. Now you could actually take any of these things and with embed code add anything you want. So I'm going to show you what I mean. So let's say I grab all of this information. I'm going to go over to my test website and I want to insert embed code. Now what's important to do is embed code is you don't want to use the URL from embed code. You want to go back to classic coding. So if you notice in here, he's got font name, font effect, and it's all capitalized. And what he's trying to tell you to do is actually go over to the font website. Hold on, fonts.google.com. And Google has plenty of fonts that you can choose from. And we're going to do this live, so hopefully this works.
Yeah.
So let's say I want to use Baracito. That's the name of it. I want to grab the name of this font. And I'm going to go back to my test website. And anytime it's got the word font name, I'm just going to add that in there. So copy and paste. Baracito. Baracito. And then this is where I want to actually add my text. So okay, and I'm going to click on next. So if you notice something's not right because the code didn't change, I can go back in and I can change it. So somewhere in here, I need to look at what some of the things he was saying. So font effect. And he's telling us that in the font name, you want to include, that's all the blue, font effect is in green, and you need to change that. So for example, if you want shadow or if you want text, whatever it might be, it's a little bit harder, but these are some ways that you can actually do this with code. So font effect, let's say I want it to be bold.
Well, he made it easy. That's really self-explanatory.
Yep, definitely. And that should work. I'm not sure it's working. Again, live on TV, live on doesn't always work, but you get the idea. So basically, I have now coded the actual wording that I'm going to use. And if I wanted to, I can go back in and edit this and figure out where my mistake is. Part of coding is trying to figure out where the problem is. So it may be that I'm missing some kind of a I think I'm missing this.
Is it like a quote or something?
Quote. I think I'm missing the quote. No. Let's try. And again, this is live.
No, it's okay.
All right. So either way, I'll just show you some of his examples that he came up with. Let's see. And some of his things that he did was linked right to that web page. So you can tell it's a Google site. It's got the traditional header. But he's got, you know, shadows behind, color differences, the fire look behind it. He's embedded a whole bunch of things. But as he's adding things in, he's only using embed code. And if you could look at it, you can actually see on the inspect or the source that these are all, his code is in here somewhere. So this is what coding really is if you really want to dive deep into it. But basically, that's exactly what he's done. Somewhere in here, he wrote that code so that he can actually make it work. And again, if it wasn't on live TV, I'd have the exact way of showing how to do it.
So you would have to do that for every page, right?
Correct.
Okay.
But what's nice is once you copy that, so you have that basic code, and you want to use Baracito again, you just grab the same information back.
Yeah, so you really do it once and then you're done.
Exactly. Right, so, right. You know, you could put it on your Google Notes. I use my Keep a lot for this kind of a thing. And for some reason, like I said, somewhere in here, there's probably missing one different
Yes,
thing.
syntax error or
Yep,
something.
exactly. And but if you watch his video, he'll tell you exactly how to do it, and it's very helpful. There's a couple other hacks on here, but I'm not going to take all the time. But he's also got a remind widget in here. He's got an animation hack that you can actually use within your Google site, as well as a template hack, and that's a great feature if you want to have students do their own portfolios using a basic template you've already created.
So he's showing the, click on the template example.
So in the folder, and he's got very specific rules of like, you can't make a copy until you do this, but this is his sandbox site that he was doing, I think, while we were there. And then what he did was he shared the page to the kids, and then they could choose from here however they wanted to add to it. So there's his remind widget that he did that day. So if you needed like an updating web page where your school is being told like they're not updating their web page quick enough, if you have a remind and you're using that, or you have Google Classroom, he's also got a hack for that as well. You don't have to update your website; you just update the embedded content.
And that's all in those embedded videos that he has on his website?
Correct. And I shared that link for you guys as well. But it was a great session at ISTE, and I've been following him for a couple months now, and some really great things. And if you have a way to hack something, he wants to learn it so that he can share it to everyone. So he's a learner, and he's a teacher of sorts.
Wow. Wow. That I'm gonna definitely look at these videos and see actually what he's doing to hack. Because I think I agree. I think that a lot of the built-in features of sites, it's dull.
Mm-hmm.
And it does need some type of like, cosmetic look, or some kind of customization, with the, maybe like you said, with the widgets or whatever. So I think that website and his resources will definitely be helpful to people that are, you may have to be a little bit more tech savvy, because you have to kind of be aware of like HTML and JavaScript. But the way he has it, looks like the way he has it laid out there, it looks like it's easy enough for someone to
very approachable,
go in and do it. Yeah. So I'm glad that you showed those tips and everything, and using the cool text website as well, because that has a lot to do with it, customizing the look and feel of your website too. And being able to have the flexibility to put what you want in there is always nice. But I'm glad that you definitely showed his resources. I will definitely give him a shout out as well, and maybe he can come on my show. I don't know him, but maybe he can be on my show and share more of his hacks, because
I'm happy to do the introduction.
yeah, definitely. I'm gonna reach out to him on Twitter. I was admiring his Sons of Technology logo.
It's very cool. It's very cool. And
really
he's got
cool.
the actual cut. He actually has a leather motorcycle jacket.
Oh, does he?
Of Sons of Technology.
Now, is he the only person in that podcast?
So no, there's another guy, Kyle Anderson, and I think he's got a couple other kind of people that are in the group, but maybe not in every episode. And some great guests and great talks. And I think he's only got a few episodes, but he's continuing his podcasting.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm hoping that I can connect with him as well. So that'll be cool.
Definitely.
Because everybody has their own expertise and their own little niche, in their own little comfort zone, so that's why it's nice to be able to connect with different people and share, because his comfort zone may not be someone else's comfort zone,
That's
and
true.
it's a learning curve. So it's nice to see that he's got something like that out there, even for the more tech savvy people, they feel more comfortable dealing with HTML, they can go ahead and dive right into that hack, or even the other hacks that he has on. So, it's a nice alternative. You don't
Yes,
always have
definitely.
to you don't have to use what's built in, but if you're a little bit more tech savvy, go ahead out and explore the tools that Jay was showing off, and check out his website as well. What was his website?
Ed, you're talking about Sons of Technology?
Yeah.
I think it's just sonsoftechnology.com.
Okay. All those resources will be in the Wakelet collection for the show tonight. What I'm going to do is I'll share my screen real quick, and so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So if you go to the sweettalk.com, that's the SUITE talk.com, and you go to the episode and podcast list page, you can scroll down and you will see, I didn't put it in yet, but you'll see tonight's episode will be listed here with the show notes. And the show notes is actually a Wakelet. It's a Wakelet collection. And all of the resources that Jay referenced tonight will be included in here. So his website will be in here. Cooltext.com will be in here. Jay's information and the Google Doc agenda will be in here as well. So you can certainly visit the Wakelet. Also, tonight's episode, I'm trying to switch up my Google site, Jay. So I'm
I see your new
still,
logo is there.
yeah, my new logo I designed. So I'm still trying to get used to saying and directing people to my homepage now, and they can see the latest podcast and episode on the homepage. They can see the schedule here. I did put an area here for trending episodes, so they can watch or listen to the trending episodes here. And if you wanted to be a guest on my show, I have an area on my homepage now that you can fill out the Google form, and you can click on the button to see the schedule of upcoming guests and when availability is. You can also join the Facebook community. So I'm going through Facebook, and I can't believe that there's over 1,000 people in my group. So really thankful for that. So if you want to join, you can click there, and you can also please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm also available on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, and Google Podcasts as well. So all that information is on my homepage. And I just want to give a shout out to my idea board for Jamboard page. I know Jamboard is a new app, and some people are don't really know what it is. Check out my page here, and you'll learn about Jamboard and how you can use it in the classroom. I go over all of this stuff here, and that's basically it. So let me get back to Jay. There we go. And that's it, really. Is there anything else you want to add about tonight's show, or any other details?
No, I mean I didn't get to everything. So if there's anything in the agenda that you wanted to see, I'm happy to do a quick web webcast and share it out to anybody. I use Screencastify, and I could send it out to you guys and show you exactly. So one of the things I didn't get to show you was appointment slots in Google Calendar. It's really helpful, but it's really more for like an administrator to use or a teacher for parent conferences. But it's a great way to utilize what I call app smashing, essentially the Google products with other Google products.
Yeah, we can actually do that on another show, because appointment slots is a very handy part of Google Calendar, and it allows you to select a date and time of when that person's available, and then you get to see that information on your calendar. So we can actually do that another time if you want, because I think appointment slots has come a long way. from when I first started using them, and I think it would be helpful.
Great. Looking forward to it.
Well, we'll talk about that. But anyway,
Sounds good.
that concludes our show for tonight. Again, thank you for tuning in, and thanks for being on, Jay. I really appreciate it. Have a great evening. Until next time.
Glad to be here. Thanks so much.
Bye, guys.
You as well. Bye-bye.